You ever get the feeling that the universe has a twisted sense of humor? Because the night the HOA tried to steal half my house, I swear I could hear it laughing. Yeah, that happened, out in the middle of the desert, miles from Phoenix. Just me, the coyotes, and some city folks with clipboards who thought a forged piece of paper meant they owned my grandfather's house. Let me back up a sec. That place was my fresh start, the kind of blank slate you only get after a divorce and a couple decades of losing yourself in city traffic. My grandfather built it with his own 2 hands back in the early 80s, when a man's word and his fence meant something, and nobody cared if your porch light was a little too bright or your grass wasn't regulation height. I bought it after he passed. Spent a year pouring sweat into new windows, plumbing, a steel frame studio. Heck, I even put up solar, just to prove I could. No HOA, just 50 acres of Joshua trees, stubborn sand, and peace. Peace. Right up until 3 a.m. that Thursday, when a knock so hard it rattled the drywall had me thinking I was about to meet God or a desperate coyote. Nope. It was 2 people, both dressed like they were on a mall security force, badges shining in the porch light. Sun Cactus Hills Homeowners Association. The guy looked like he moonlighted as a mannequin, and the woman held out paperwork with a smile that said she'd rather be anywhere but here. Mr. Garrett, we're notifying you that the eastern wing of your property has been acquired by the HOA. I laughed, thought it was a prank. But they had a manila folder, stamped documents, even a highlighter line down the middle of my house. Supposedly, I was now living in a demilitarized zone, half my house, community property. Take it up with the county, they said, as if bureaucracy could explain how strangers decided my guest room was now a lounge for book club meetings I was never invited to. Didn't sleep that night, not a wink. I tore through my files, called the county, left voicemails no one would hear till Monday, and brewed enough coffee to caffeinate a small army. No liens, no missed taxes, nothing in the records but my name and a clean title. So how were these HOA crusaders cutting my life in half? By sundown the next day, I came back from town, just a quick supply run, drywall and pipes, to find a tan pickup behind my studio, 2 guys in vests hauling tools like they owned the place. My door? Hanging by a single hinge, lock sliced clean. They'd built a wall straight. Through my hallway, moved my granddad's bookshelf, turned my guest room into construction hell. Maintenance request, the older one said, like I was the idiot. We've got authority from the board. I blew a fuse. Called the sheriff. He showed up, slow as you please, hat tipped like we were at a county fair. Read the court order and the matching HOA letter. Looks official, he said. But the judge's name was wrong. The seal looked fishy, and the only thing clear was that until a real judge weighed in, I'd need an injunction to kick these trespassers out of my own damn home. That word, injunction, burned in my throat. I barricaded what I could, moved my truck across the drive, and braced myself. All night, I listened to strangers thumping hammers where my granddad used to light the fireplace. The next morning, I got proactive. Started calling everyone I knew. Lawyers, surveyors, even a retired judge I once designed an eco-retreat for, every favor I ever had. I called in. First to show was Caleb, an old cowboy of a land assessor, sunburned and sharp. He scanned the lot, muttering about HOA overreach. You're outside their overlay by 400 feet, he said. They're full of it. Next was Mia, forensic IT, a wizard with digital signatures. She checked the court order, found the seal had been lifted off a probate record and glued on. Fake, she grunted. Not even a good fake. Then came Isaac, my property rights attorney, all gruff and no nonsense. He checked every record, every transfer. No legal claim, no lien, no sale, nothing. Pure fraud. And the judge? Been fishing for 2 years. No case number, no docket. This is criminal, Ethan. I finally breathed. But then came the twist. One of the HOA's security guys, built like a linebacker, and twice as dumb, wandered up while Isaac was photographing my busted lock. Without realizing Isaac's phone was recording, he said, Karen said her friend used to be a judge. Paperwork tricks, county. Never checks on weekends. That was the soundbite we needed. We filed at dawn. Isaac blitzed the court with the evidence. By 10 a.m., we had a restraining order. I taped it to every door, every fresh slab of drywall. When the HOA's contractors rolled up, I handed them the order and filmed their retreat. That night, Isaac filed with the state attorney. We added the fake court order. Mia's forensic report, Caleb's survey, the security guard's confession, everything. The county clerk confirmed. No transfer, no tax sale, nothing in 5 years. The news caught wind. Channel 12 showed up. My story hit the airwaves, complete with drone shots of the house and a side-by-side of the real versus fake court docs. The HOA looked like the mob, not community leaders. And then, messages. All sorts. Folks from all over who'd been burned by HOAs. A rancher in New Mexico who'd been hounded by the same president. A woman whose dad lost half his ranch to a bogus survey line. Sounded real familiar. But the HOA doubled down, sent me a cease and desist, claimed I was harassing their staff. Their lawyer threatened slander charges. I sent it to Isaac, who just wrote back, "Amateurs." Their website posted about me, volatile, disruptive, dangerous. Uploaded a photo of my house, looking half-renovated and windswept. I felt like I was being digitally lynched. Then, the next low blow. Despite the court order, workers cut a hole in the drywall partition, ran new cable. Sheriff sent a new deputy, but the HOA claimed maintenance, not construction. I filmed everything. That night, my water shut off. The crawlspace valve zip-tied with an HOA tag. Unauthorized usage suspended. They wanted to make my life hell, so I'd leave on my own. That's when Caleb found the smoking gun. One of the HOA's vendors, Sierra Vista Site Solutions, LLC, was owned by Karen Lavin's niece, Julia. No website, no staff, just a funnel for HOA money. That company had bought up several properties post-forced remodeling or partial ownership disputes, always just outside HOA lines. It was a scam, systematic, a slow-motion land grab. The night we got the whistleblower email, it all clicked. Cases just like mine, vets, widows, people bullied out by paperwork and sabotage. The AG's office didn't need more convincing. By morning, search warrants went out. Sheriff's cars, unmarked SUVs, the whole cavalry rolled up to the HOA headquarters. They weren't coming for me. They were coming for Karen and her crew. Turns out, their racket was bigger than anyone guessed. Fraud, forgery, racketeering. One board member tried to run, got caught with a burner phone in Nevada. Karen, hauled out on the news in handcuffs, screaming about protecting property values. The court froze everything, dissolved the HOA, started restoration for every owner they'd targeted. The day I finally stepped back into my eastern wing, it was like walking through a crime scene. They'd gutted the place, ripped out my granddad's stone fireplace, trashed the wiring, left mold and half-finished walls. But the feds gave me something. Better than revenge, the receipts. Internal emails about simulating abandonment, leveraging pest control, preempting code violations. This wasn't about rules. It was about breaking people. That night, I got a call from Frank Dillard, one of the first victims. When they come for your walls, it ain't about wood and stone. It's about your line in the dirt. If you don't hold it, they move it. I wrote that down and taped it above the ruined fireplace. Karen got 17 years, no parole. Julia turned state's witness. The board folded, properties restored. Restitution awarded. Me? $870,000. Enough to rebuild, enough to fight again if I had to. But what really mattered? The glow from the east wing was gone. The house was mine. Months later, after monsoon season greened the desert, I stood on the roof with a beer, rebuilding stone by stone. I opened my home, not to sell, but for everyone who'd survived their own HOA. Nightmare. We swapped stories, built a grassroots group, started tracking abuse statewide. Politicians, techies, and even a Fed showed up to learn. And when it was all said and done, what stuck with me wasn't the money or the headlines. It was standing in the middle of my living room, quiet, whole, with my dog at my feet and the fire burning clean. I drew my line, and I held it. Would you? Drop your own story below. Ever tangled with an HOA? Or watch justice win for once? Tell me what you think. Where does the line get drawn, and who gets to move it?